So your arc is fascinating. You go from hating apes, very anti-ape, to warming up to Noah. How do you feel about your end scene where we're not sure if you're going to kill him or you're beginning to merge a little more like a respect and love for him?
Well, technically, the original scene we shot, I raised the gun and I am about to shoot him, and I go with the intent that I need to kill him because he's going to be a problem because he's so smart, and then I decide not to. But then they changed in the edit because they wanted it to be a bit more a bit more complicated, and I prefer that. But yeah, it is. It's this conflict. She's afraid of how smart he is, but also they kind of connect in that as well.
Is that why you like the role? Because it was so complex? You're really not sure she's conflicted.
Yeah, I think I also, like, that was, I guess, the actor's job. Like, that's what I wanted to bring as well, because reading the script, it felt like, is she just the liar, And I wanted to bring more. I wanted people to see some humanity in her as well. And, she makes difficult decisions, and they're not easy for her, and that's what I wanted to kind of show. And I built a whole history, which gave me even more reasoning as to why she goes to so many extremes,
So I was really, Noah and May's arc was fascinating because you both don't trust each other.
Right.
You're learning to trust each other. You're both learning to apes and humans are not exactly bad. How did you feel about the way your relationship was arced throughout the whole story for both of you?
I mean, great. I think there was even just in the writing, there was so much nuance to their kind of friendship that develops. They never really come to trust each other fully, but they want to. And I think that's a really interesting dynamic of two people who feel this kind of pull in terms of, we could be friends, we could develop something really, really cool, but we have polar opposite goals, so we can't.
How was your ape training?
Awesome. So much fun. The best. Highly recommend.
So your character is not so ape great, human bad. He's actually pretty complex. He does have his. What was about this character's arc? Did you really want you to play the character?
I just love the complexity of it. You've got this maybe the highest thinking ape that we've seen, who's trying to accomplish a task that is gargantuan by rounding up all of the apes that he could find so that he could get to this information before the humans do, because he knows if the humans get to it first, chances are they're going to end up in cages and in laboratories and in zoos on plates. So he is just determined, and it's wonderful to get to luxuriate in this character. Yeah.
Okay, so what was the biggest challenge for you trying to have the actors perform in apes, like as apes, but given visual effects, it makes it feel more human?
Yeah, well, I guess our part of the process is called pre-viz and post-viz. And so pre-viz is before the actors are, shoot the movie, we plan out certain scenes, like big action scenes, so like the marauders attacking the village, that one, the opening climb on the skyscraper, the human hunt. And so we, do motion capture and that kind of thing, just in our own little team without the actors, to get apes doing the things that the director wants them to do, so that he can kind of form like a little plan. So he has a video where he can take to set and it's like, these are the shots we need, and that, that like as a planning tool. And so, yeah, the motion capture on our side was kind of away from the actors, but of course when the actors came in and gave their amazing performances, they completely replaced all of our kind of rough planning performances, in lieu of all these great performances by the actors.
So visual effects. So what was the biggest challenge for you trying to make the human actors feel more apish, but also convey the emotionality through visual effects?
Probably the biggest thing with this particular installment is that all of our characters are speaking. Whereas previously there was a lot of sign language that was going on. And so we had to use, brought in kind of some of the technology that we had brought about for the last several films, not the last Apes films, but completely separate movies like Gemini Man, or like the work we did on Thanos, a deep learning facial solver that essentially took care of the first pass of the facial animation, maintaining consistency, and then gave our facial animators a ton more time to spend on the emotional nuance and really looking at what our cast gave us and making sure that the ape face gave you that same emotional reaction. Yeah.
Hi, editing. So, what was your reaction when you first saw the dailies to the throwback to '68 human being hunted scene?
Yeah, I was super excited, but also very intimidated. I'm like, oh my God, I can't screw this up. But half the time I was like, am I going to see Charlton Heston? No, I can't.